2026 and you want to get back into Fallout New Vegas. And quite frankly, I don't blame you. It is a great game. However, you want to remaster it, make it a new experience. And how are you going to do that? Well, I have an answer for you. We're going to do it with the Fallout New Vegas wildcard mod list. And lucky for you, I'm going to show you how to install it. You need to install a fresh version of Fallout New Vegas. If you have versions that are already installed and you want to save your progress, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into the root directories and you're going to want to copy the folder for Fallout New Vegas to your desktop, to a hard drive, to something so that you have those files should you want to revert it back to where you left off. The installation of this mod requires a fresh install. So once you back up the game, go ahead and click uninstall Fallout New Vegas and then go into your program files directory or wherever you store your Steam games and my documents and manually delete any files and folders pertaining to Fallout New Vegas. We need to map a new directory so that it does not install into the default program files x86. So if you've never tinkered with this, the chances are that you may just have the default path. There's nothing wrong with that for using Steam games. However, for the purposes of this, it cannot be there. So what we're going to do is you're going to go to the top left to Steam and you're going to go down to settings. And once you're in settings, you're going to go to storage. Now, inside of storage, you will see that my Steam is mapped to my E drive, which is my NVMe drive. The game has to be on either a solid state drive. However, I would recommend putting it on an NVMe simply because the read and write speeds are the fastest. My E drive is a 2 terabyte NVMe. All of my games go into here and I have set it up that way. For the purposes of this, I have my E drive. My E drive has a gaming folder in it, and I created that gaming folder, and that is where all of my games go into. They do not go into the default program files, they go into the gaming folder. So if you went in there, you would see Steam apps, common, and all of the games that I have installed. The way that we do this, if you need to set that up, is I'm going to map a separate drive just because. But if you were to go to add drive, okay, you're going to get a window that pops up and it's going to give you the option to choose another location. Okay. All I would do in this case is I would click choose another location and I would click add and you get a search window that comes up. If I was to map my C drive, let's just say, for example, I've already done this, but let's just say that if I was going to do this, I would go into my C drive and I would make a new folder titled whatever. I called mine gaming. That is okay. You could go gaming and then you would select that folder and it would then add that drive to your storage location. Okay. I've already added mine, so it's not going to show it again, but that's all you need to do is you just need to create a custom path that's not the default x86. Okay. If you have issues with that, try a different drive. If you have 2 or 3 drives, maybe try them. The only thing is that it needs to be on a solid state drive or an NVMe. Once you've backed up your game and or deleted all existing files, we're going to install a fresh copy. If you don't have Fallout New Vegas installed and you never have, don't worry about backing up your files or going in and deleting old files. Simply install the new version of Fallout New Vegas so that it is a clean install. We're going to install it into the drive that we just mapped. So click install and you'll notice that your drive has popped up. I have C and E, which are both drives that I have mapped to my Steam. Okay. I'm going to install it on my E drive, but you want it to be on either an SSD or an M.2 NVMe drive. Okay. Select the drive you want to install it in and click install and let Steam do its thing. Once your Fallout New Vegas has downloaded, we need to run the initial setup so that it picks a graphical preset for us. So all you're going to do is you're going to click play and you're going to have a menu that pops up. You're going to click yes to allow Steam to do its thing. And then you're going to get this window that pops up and you're going to get a prompt that says detecting video hardware. Fallout New Vegas will now detect your video hardware and set video options accordingly. You're going to click OK. And it's going to say that your video settings have been set for medium quality. Whatever it sets to, don't worry about it, okay? I have a very good gaming computer. It still sets it to medium quality. We are going to change that after. You're going to click OK, and that's all you need to do. Do not load into New Vegas. Go ahead and click exit, and we'll move on to the next step. The next step is we have to download an installer called Wabbajack. So if you go to Google and you type in Wabbajack, it's going to be the very first one that pops up, wabbajack.org. Go ahead and click that. It's going to open up the web page, and all we're going to do is click download. And it will start downloading for you to install. Once you have downloaded Wabbajack, you're going to have an exe that looks like this. This exe cannot be run from a protected drive. So it will not work from your downloads folder. It will not work from your desktop, and it will not work from your root drive. So what I recommend doing is if you have a drive that you install everything like your games on, mine is my D drive, make a folder in there called Wabbajack, put the exe into that folder, and then run it from there. So I'm going to copy it here. I'm going to go into my D drive. I'm going to make a new folder and title it Wabbajack. That's fine. And then I'm going to copy the exe into there, and then I'm going to initiate it from there, and it'll work, and you'll be able to install the program. Once you open it up, it's going to download a couple folders. It's going to do some extraction, and it's going to populate the Wabbajack program into this Wabbajack folder. Once you run the exe, you're going to get this Wabbajack window that pops up. The next thing that you're going to need is a Nexus Mods account. So if you Google Nexus Mods, it's going to take you to the very first page, which is www.nexusmods.com. When you get to Nexus Mods, you're going to need to create an account. I already have one, so I'm not going to make one. But if you do need to make one, you can just navigate to the top right where it says register, follow the on-screen prompts, and you'll be able to create an account. There are two options here that you can do. The first one is you can use a free account to install the mods. However, there is a download limit speed on the downloads, and you have to initiate them one by one. The other option that you can do is you can upgrade your account to a premium account, which gives you unlimited download speeds and will automatically initialize all of them. What I do basically for things like Skyrim and Fallout 4 when I'm going to mod it is I will buy a subscription for a month. I will run the install that I need to do, and then I'll cancel my subscription. It's not that expensive in Canadian dollars. I think it's like 12 bucks, something like that for a month. And it allows me to install what I want to do, and then I can downgrade it back to the free membership, and I don't have to continue paying a fee for things when I'm not installing it. You can do it either way. I'll leave it up to you. However, the premium account is the easiest way to do it and is the fastest way to do it. Now that you've logged into Nexus Mods, we need to download Wildcard. Go to the search bar in the top right and simply type in Wildcard and hit enter. The first one that pops up is going to be Fallout Wildcard, a Wabbajack mod list for Fallout New Vegas and Tale of Two Worlds. Go ahead and click that. And then you're going to click Download Manual on the right. Okay. Once you do that, it's going to start downloading. Go ahead and let it do that. It's 2.3 gigabytes. And once that's done, we're going to extract it to our downloads folder. Now that we've downloaded the file from Nexus Mods that we need to install this mod list, you're going to need to unzip it. Go ahead and double click it. I use WinRAR. You can use whatever program you want. But you're going to extract it and just extract it to the downloads folder. And once you do that, you're going to notice that you now have a separate file, which when you open it has fnvwildcard.wabbajack. That is the file that we are going to use to install this program via the Wabbajack installer, so that way it downloads all the mods. Once you have Wabbajack open, there's an important step that you need to do. We need to log into the Nexus Mods account that you already have and or you just created. To do that, you're going to click Settings in the bottom left here, and it's going to bring up a window, and in the top left, you'll notice that it says Logins. I am already logged into my Nexus Mods account, so I'm not going to do it again. However, if you're not logged into it, click the Login button, follow the on-screen prompts, and log into your Nexus Mods account. What we need to do now is we need to load the Wildcard mod list. So you're going to go to Browse Lists. And if you've used Wabbajack before, you'll know that this is where you find your install lists that by default come with the Wabbajack installer. However, the one that we are loading, Wildcard, is not within the Wabbajack installer. So we have to manually import it. All you're going to do is from this menu in the top right, you're going to click Install from Disk. And it's going to bring up a prompt window where you're going to navigate to the downloads folder and pick the Wabbajack mod list that we just unzipped from the zip file. This one is called fnvwildcard.wabbajack. Go ahead and select that. It's approximately 2.4 gigs and click open. It's going to bring you to this menu here where we need to specify the installation and the download location. They do not need to be on the same drive. However, for the ease of keeping track of everything, I would highly recommend that if you have the space, that's what you do. The other thing that is highly recommended and is actually a must is it has to be on an SSD or an M.2 NVMe drive, simply for the read and write speeds of those drives. What you're going to do is you're going to click the installation location folder. And what I like to do is I like to go to the drive that I put my games on. For me, it's my E drive, which is my NVMe drive. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to right click and I'm going to make a new folder, and I'm going to call it Fallout Wildcard. I'm going to select that folder, and that is going to be my installation folder. So you will now see that it says E/Fallout Wildcard. That's the folder we just made. Within that, it's also going to designate the download location, and it's going to make its own file called Fallout Wildcard Downloads. Leave that as is. That is all good. And then what you're going to do is you're going to click Install. The installation process is going to run, and if you have a Nexus Mods premium account, you will not have to do anything. If you opted to not use a premium account, I hate to tell you this, but you will have to approve every single mod one by one, and there's approximately 1,400 of them. Let the download process run. Once the download process is done, it's going to go ahead and install all of the files automatically. And once that's done, you'll get a window letting you know that you have successfully installed the wildcard mod. So as I was trying to install the package, I kept getting download failed. And if you click show missing archives, it'll actually take you to a list of the files that weren't downloaded or that caused the error. In my case, it was Killer Cons, and I tried a couple different things and couldn't get it to work. Not the end of the world, this is how I fixed it. If you notice here, it has a Nexus link. So if you click that, it'll actually take you to Nexus mods to the mod that needs to be downloaded. Go ahead and click manual download. It's going to download the file, and it will put it into your downloads folder. This is very important. Once that's downloaded, go into your downloads folder where we previously put the Wabbajack list and copy the file without extracting it. Now, you'll remember earlier on, before we started installing the list, we had to designate the installation path as well as the downloads path. We created a folder called Fallout Wildcard. I'm going to go ahead and go into there, and you'll notice now inside the downloads folder is all the mods that have been downloaded. Go ahead and paste the Killer Cons file that we just downloaded into that folder and leave it as is. Once that's done, when you go back to the Wabbajack installer and you click retry, it should source the file that you just put in there and everything should be okay. What's going to happen now is it's going to extract all of the files that it downloaded and it's going to install them and put them into the proper load order. Once Fallout New Vegas Wildcard has finished installing, what you're going to do is you're going to click Open File Explorer in the bottom right, and it's going to take you to the directory where it's installed it to. What we need to do now is we need to copy some files from the stock Fallout New Vegas folder. So I have mine installed on my E drive under Gaming. So I'm going to go Gaming, Steam Apps, Common, and I'm going to go into my Fallout New Vegas folder. Yours is going to be wherever you have it installed to. So it's not necessarily going to be the same as my installation path. It's going to be the installation path that you created at the beginning of this video where you installed Fallout New Vegas 2 on Steam. Once you're in there, you're going to hit Control A and select everything that is in here. You're then going to hit Control C to copy it. The other option is you can right click it and you can click copy if you want to. What you're going to do now is you're going to copy them into a path that is within the wildcard folder that you just installed with the Wabbajack installer. You're going to go into here and there's going to be a folder called No Delete Stock New Vegas. Okay, go ahead and open that up. And once you're in here, go ahead and Control V and paste all the files in. Once those are in there, you can go ahead and close your file browser. Okay, once that's done, navigate back to the Fallout Wildcard folder and you'll notice that there is a mod organizer button. Go ahead and double click that and open up the mod organizer program. You're going to get a pop-up that says show tutorial. You're starting mod organizer for the first time. Go ahead and check the never asked to show tutorials and click no. We don't need to do it. Once you're in mod organizer, you'll notice on the top right, it says FNV wildcard. That is good. That is the file that we're going to use to launch the game. What we want to do is we want to configure the graphic settings. So go ahead and click the drop-down menu and go to configure game settings and click run. Once you have this open, you're going to click options and it's going to take you to the graphics settings. Okay. This is where you can change your resolution. My monitor is a 16:9 widescreen, and my resolution that I am playing on is going to be 2560 by 1440. What I'm also going to do while I'm here is in the detail settings, I'm going to click Ultra, and I'm going to ensure that the windowed setting is ticked off. You can disable VSync here if you want to. That is something that you're going to have to play with just to see whether or not it works. But you're going to put it to Ultra, make sure windowed is unticked, and if you want to play with VSync, you can. Click OK, and then click Exit. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make a couple tweaks so that way our loading times don't take so long. So within the Fallout Wildcard folder that you made, you're going to see a folder called Modding Tools. Go ahead and open that up. And there's going to be one called FNV BSA Decompressor. Go ahead and open that up, and there should be an exe inside that you're going to run. Double click it. And what you need to make sure is that the paths in this window are set to the proper directories. By default, they will not populate where they need to go. The Fallout New Vegas installation directory needs to be the one that is in the directory when you copied the files from your Steam directory to the Fallout Wildcard folder in the No Delete Stock New Vegas. That is the directory that it's referring to. The second directory that says path where the decompressed BSA files will be installed is within that same directory, and it is the data folder. So in my case here, you can see that this has defaulted to my Steam installation. That's not what we want. All you're going to do is you're going to click Browse, and you're going to get a window that obviously pops up. Navigate back to your Fallout Wildcard folder, and you're going to click the No Delete Stock New Vegas that we set up earlier. That is the directory for your Fallout New Vegas. The directory for the data portion is under the Same section. So if you go to your Fallout your Fallout wildcard folder, no delete stock New Vegas data, you're going to select that as your data folder. And that is where you're then going to click decompress and run the decompressor. Once that finishes installing, go ahead and click exit. The thing we need to do is we need to install a patch. So you're going to go to the path where you installed the Wabbajack files from. So again, the Fallout wildcard. And you're going to go into the path, which is the no delete stock New Vegas. Once you're in there, there's going to be a file called fnvpatch.exe. It's this one right here. Go ahead and double click that. Going to bring up a prompt, which is going to say Fallout New Vegas.exe patched. Press any key to continue, and you're going to do exactly that, and your game has been patched. So you're going to need to pull up the Nexus Mods page again from the downloads section and scroll all the way down to where it says New Vegas Reloaded. It's going to tell you to join the New Vegas Reloaded Discord server. You'll notice in the Wabbajack installer, in the profiles, there is FNV Wildcard Classic, and then there's a bunch of them that have NVR mode. That is Vegas Reloaded. The other ones without it, you don't need to do this step. However, I would recommend that you do, okay? So what you're going to do is on the website, it's going to tell you to join the New Vegas Reloaded Discord server. Go ahead and click that. You'll get a prompt that pops up that says, please join the Discord server. And if you have Discord, continue to it. Or if you use the web-based version, you can do it that way as well. I have Discord. I'm going to accept it, and I'm going to go into it. Once you're here, it's going to ask, which game are you playing? We're playing New Vegas. Click next. Do you want to be notified of updates? You don't have to click yes, but if you want them, click yes. I'm going to click skip. They have server rules. Go ahead and click finish, and it's going to bring you into the server. Once you're in the server, it's going to say go to the nightly builds channel in the development category and download version 4.2.1, released on April 28th. In the Discord, you'll notice at the bottom there is development and it says nightly builds. Go ahead and click that, and it's going to say let's customize your experience. Well, we already told them that we're playing New Vegas. No, we don't want the updates. And let's click finish. You may have to click through it again. It takes 2 seconds. You will notice that there are newer versions than what is on the Nexus mod page. Go ahead and download the latest one, which is NVR 4.4.0, and it's going to be a 7-zip folder. Click continue. It'll download it to your downloads folder, same as before. You're then going to go back to Mod Organizer, and you're going to click Install Mod from the top left. It's going to allow you to navigate to where you just downloaded that file to. So you're going to go there and select the NVR 4.4.0 and click Open. It's then going to say a name. You need to change the name here, and this is what you're going to change the name to. This path can be selected right from the Nexus mod page. That way you can copy it so that it's exactly as it needs to be. When you click OK, it's going to ask if you want to replace. You're going to click Replace, and it's going to overwrite a couple things, and now you're good to go. Now you're almost ready to play. We just have to tweak some Windows settings to help with unexpected crashes. You're going to go to Start, and you're going to type in Windows Security. Then you're going to go to App and Browser Control, and then you're going to click Exploit Protection Settings, and this should be set to Use Default for the Force Randomization for Images. Once you've done that, go ahead and close. The next tweak that we're going to do is you're going to delete a cache storage. So go ahead and press the Windows key, and you're going to type env, which should bring up Edit the System's Environment Variables. Go ahead and click that. Then you're going to click Environment Variables. Then at the top where it says User Variables for, mine says Kaza, it should be your computer name. You're going to click New. Then in the variable name, you're going to type it as such. You can copy this directly from the Nexus Mods install page. And once that's done, you're going to click OK, and you're going to close the window. Then what you're going to do is you need to go in and you need to delete the old cache. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to where your Steam is installed to. So mine is under Gaming, Steam Apps, Common, Steam Apps, Data Cache, 2490. And if you have a 2490, you're going to delete the dxvk_state_cache. I don't have a 2490, therefore it doesn't exist. Once you're done that, go ahead and restart your computer, and then we're ready to launch. Now, once you're in your mod organizer and you're ready to launch the game, we have to pick a profile. So if you go to the top here, you'll notice that I had Modern Mode, Casual, and VR Mode selected. All of these profiles are different and offer a different playthrough experience. If you're wondering what profile does what, on the Nexus Mods page for this FNV wildcard mod list, there's actually a section called Explaining what makes each profile different, and it explains basically the ins and outs of which one you want to pick. For the purposes of showing you how to launch the game, I'm going to select Modern Mode, Casual, and VR Mode. And once that's selected, you'll notice that it's going to change the profile to select the mods that need to be active. So there's 1006, and then I'm going to change over on the right here to FNV Wildcard, and I'm going to click Run, and the game's going to launch. If the default Fallout New Vegas logo pops up, we need to go back and redo the Configure Game Settings. So go to the top right where it says FNV Wildcard, select Configure Game Settings, and click Run. You're going to want to go through the steps again of going into options, setting the graphical preset, setting your monitor's resolution, unchecking windowed mode, and then clicking OK. Once that's done, switch the configure game settings back to FNV wildcard, click play, and it should launch with the wildcard settings. And once you get to the main menu, all you're going to do is you're going to go to the right and you're going to click new for a new game. And you're going to start a new game, and welcome to FNV wildcard. You made it. I hope you enjoy your playthrough with whatever profile you selected. And if this content helped you, please consider subscribing to my channel. I have install guides for things like Fallout 4, Elder Gleam, with more to come, I'm sure. As always, have fun, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.